Welcome back to Dishonored, the Knife of Dunwall. So I actually had to replay the level because this level has a very annoying... I'm not sure if it's a bug or whatever it is, but if you don't do things in a certain order, you don't get the key to this door. So what I did in the last playthrough was that I went into the room with Chauncey, that's the dead hatter in the room that was all the way up there, on the balcony up there. And apparently either that or the fact that I went in up there and took the hat lying on the chair before I read the note or something, or I killed the hatters in the building over here where the hatters reside. One of those things messed things up, so the key to the door didn't spawn. It's supposed to spawn by the body of Chauncey. So when you do this level, it is important to do these things in the correct order. You need to go up into the top floor of the guards building, also known as the almshouse for some reason. Then you have to go over to the hatters to discover that the key isn't there, and then go up to the room with the dead guy, and the key will be on the floor beside him. So take note of that. It was not very fun to have to do the level over again, but thankfully I wasn't that far in, so that said, let's move on to the legal district.
Scout up ahead. Try to find out where Timsh is.
There's an equipment stash on the rooftops nearby. We've been anticipating doing a hit on Timsh for some time.
I know. Half the city wants him dead. We'll earn some gold on this one. I'll meet you up ahead.
Okay. That looks like a weeper. Bone charm, fleet fighter. Having your weapons out doesn't slow you. That's very useful. Wait, did I have a bone charm that bolts stuck in enemies break less often? That's probably a good idea. Let's change to that. I don't often drop assassinate. Is that the only person in the building? Seems so.
You need to stop right now.
Ugh. I don't often drop assassinate, I say, and then I go try it drop assassinating. Huh.
If you like your teeth, you'll cut
Why
that
is
out.
it working? Okay, let's just blink down behind him then. Watchman key needed. Actually, just to make sure. He should have been unaware since he became cloud of smoke.
It's Daud, isn't it?
Oh,
You wouldn't be in this district unless you were after Timsh's head.
What do you want?
Revenge. To do to Timsh what he did to me. I want him homeless, a victim of one of his own eviction documents. I've prepared one, complete with the forged signature of the Lord Regent. Please, go to my old apartment. It's right next to Timsh's estate. Here's the address, but I doubt you can get inside from the streets. There you'll find my journal, which contains the entire plot and everything you'll need. But you're a businessman like I once was. I don't expect you to do this for free. If you do go to my apartment, you'll find something stashed there. Consider it your payment in advance.
okay, so that guy is actually the non-lethal way of doing the level. we are going to do this non-lethally. Ha.
Seems familiar. Reminds me of someone who used to do business with Timsh, but I'm not sure.
Good work, Simmons. Now that that's handled, we can move on. You got the orders from Timsh, right? What's the next address?
Crow's Court off Bramley Street. There's a problem, sir. The Forrestalls live there, and their kids used to sneak us food at the back door. I know it's the job, sir, but it's awfully hard seeing them turned out like this. They don't even have the plague. I've been there last week.
Excellent. Simmons, you'll show me this back stoop and we'll go in that way. Start tallying the place up. You've given us the tactical advantage. We'll get Timsh's money.
But, sir...
I'll put it another way. You think I care which door we kick in tomorrow? The next day? Behind each is another useless pack of aristocratic sots and their precious offspring. And I don't care if they all end up mudlarks.
Sir, they've been good to me.
Simmons, before I worked for Barrister Timsh, I was dredging out the real Weeper dens. You ever done that? Ever broken down a door and bathed in that stench? Fought housewives with blood on their faces, swinging at you with a piece of broken furniture. Other times it's just rats inside, hundreds of them, stripping some drunk to the bone. Maybe you'd like to be transferred to my old squad.
No, sir. Certainly not.
I used to call myself brave, Simmons. Till I saw a man lose a fight with a pile of rats. So when Barrister Timsh says all I gotta do is rough up a rich bastard, cuff him a few times till he stops talking about his rights, I jump at the chance. I cry with happiness. You understand me?
Yes, sir. We'll approach from the back stoop. They won't be alarmed when they see me.
Right. Good man. It's them or us. No room for heroes in the time of plague. You just do your job and I'll make sure you keep this posting.
That guy certainly isn't very friendly. This guy is. Killing him almost feels wrong. Killing this guy, however, does not feel wrong. Okay, there's the Gate of Light dealt with. The Lord Regent is a shriveled prick and liar. Yes, that sounds about correct. Interesting. Okay, so here's the journal. So Timsh thinks he's invincible because he carries a letter from the Lord Regent giving him legal immunity from the state seizing his goods in case of plague. He carries it everywhere like a talisman, but is also drafted the instrument of his own destruction. The document he uses for evictions is a generic form drafted by the office of the Lord Regent. It was trivial to acquire a blank one. Acquiring a forgery of the Lord Regent's signature was less easy, but thankfully some of my old connections are still loyal. Now all I need to do is swap the two documents. Getting close enough to Timsh to do it won't be easy. I may need help from a professional. Once that's done, the fool just needs a push to go down, and that's the second part. Inside Timsh's basement there's a device that circulates air in the building. If some material happened to find its way into the device, the building would reek like a Weeper's den. I had to be particular about the actual material, as I do not wish to infect the guard or servants with plague and cause needless suffering. The unsavory gentlewoman living in Unit 10 has offered to provide the odorous item and a sturdy sack to contain it. She craves my rune in exchange, So I will be forced to part with it. She's given me a key to her unit so I can go and get the sack when I'm ready to make my move. And we have the eviction document, the apartment 10 key. That's for the apartment in the previous area. But of course we're not going to do this non-lethally. That would not at all be in line with...
One less mess for the watch to clean up.
Red uniform guards. Can't remember having seen those before. Can I... I really dislike it when they're moving. Stand still.
Should we gather for whiskey and cigars tonight? Never doubt.
Right, so one of them is there, one of them is there. Where did the final one go off to? Okay, nobody noticed. Good. And you? That they noticed. I need more accuracy on this bolt thing because seriously, that's better. There's one down there. And then it's this guy. And then it's the guy over there. There we go.
Citizens belonging to or offering aid to the Hatter criminal organization.
Need to get up there. Talk to Billy Lurk. Area map. Timsh Estate. You are here. Yep. Whaler Outpost. We have apartment 7, apartment 10, the watch office. Okay, so this is where we came from, and we've gone through here. So we're in this section now. Whaler Outpost. I wonder what's in there. 2 is apartment 7. I believe we've been in there. That should be fine. Reconnaissance notes. Timsh is vigorous for a man of his age. He is known to keep himself armed with a sword and pistol, even when in his own home. He's been observed to be generally restless and mobile, pacing throughout the building from his bedroom on the top floor to the lobby of the law offices on the ground floor. Timsh keeps his mother's will in a chest in a storage room near the lobby on the ground floor. The front door leads into law office's lobby. The space is 2 stories high with balconies overlooking the lobby floor. The second balcony on the facade, glass doors, leads directly to Timsh's office. The top floor balconies on the right and left of the building gives easy access. A back door leads into a basement. It's kept locked, but a key was easy to find. A dumbwaiter accessible in the basement connects all the floors, but it's a one-way trip. Once you get out, the panel shuts and the platform returns to the basement. And Timsh carries a key with him. Any important chests or cabinets are locked with it. And then an apartment near Timsh's estate has rooftop access to the waterfront district. That would be apartment 10. Ah, this is useful. And this is his estate. So the office is down there with the lobby. And area 12 is the private chambers. Okay.
He's justifying himself to the rats in his office right now. Just inside the top balcony.
Oh, there he is. Well, I can't let this chance go unused.
True shot. It's a shame you still have to go inside and find the will. We could just go back to Redshore otherwise.
Indeed. Okay, so this whaler's office thing.
Being so delayed, I expected to find Timsh outside waiting for me. Where is he?
That's the problem, sir. We don't know. We've been searching for him, but nothing.
That gives me a very bad feeling. Keep me informed, of course.
Yes, sir, General Turnbull. Sir,
General?
do you believe in witches?
Shut up. Witches had nothing to do with this.
Well, now. Okay, let's get back up. Oh, come on.
Think you'll get your own squad after what happened last night? Chances are very good.
Save the game and... And then the question is, can I take these guys out like this? Yes, I can. So being a general doesn't protect you all that much from Daud, does it? Then again, I guess being an Empress didn't protect her from Daud. That is sealed. This one also seems to be sealed. As we actually need money, I'm looking to see if there is items of value lying around. Like, for instance, pouches. And I have no plans of going into the building from the basement. I don't like coming in from the lower floors, so I do intend to go into the top floor. That seems to be inside. Okay. Let's go back to the rooftop access that we got over here. Of course, we are too weak to jump up there. Crying out loud. get up here. Nope, didn't work. Oof. Worked, much better. Okay, so there are 4 guards visible. Now, where is the staircase? And if you're wondering why I'm not going into the room, because we need the master key, so we need to go down to the balcony where he met his unfortunate demise. Here is the staircase. Do you intend to go in this door? Yes, you do. Maybe you don't. If you don't, I intend to do this, and then close the door. That's 2 out of... Oh, there are more guards in the lower floors, but at least we have 2 of the 4 in this floor down.
Horrible, but he did so much.
After the Pendletons and the High Overseer, there's no way to ignore this one. The man goes after the city's leaders. We hunt him down. What's the alternative? Look at this.
Okay, so there is the big question is, how do I take out both of these without one of them setting off the alarm?
Should we gather for whiskey and cigars tonight? Indeed, I believe so.
There we go. Now, would you kindly leave the room, madam? They do walk to a location where they are close enough that I can take them out with an explosive arrow, but not while the housekeeper is hanging around.
Think you'll get your own squad after what happened last night? Yes, of course.
Okay, let's do like that, and then back up there. And then like this. And back up there. Drink a potion. And the housekeeper is out there. Save the game and see if we can take her out while she's dusting. Indeed we can. Now there are 4 people left. We will listen to the audiographs after we've taken out everyone, because I don't want to accidentally attract guards. Note from Timsh. Scott, do we really need that alarm device in my office? It's ugly. The colors clash and the cable is marking up the woodwork. I am positively certain that the way it's been attached to the floor will cost a few thousand in coin to mend. Arnold. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore. So we need the estate key. Grab these things. Oh, yes, they would. Okay, so you're standing like that.
It's all gone to the void here, and you're worried about the quality of the service?
Nobody's safe, that's what I know. Key to surviving in the city of terror is remembering that. Humility. Anybody could go at any moment. Got to enjoy your life. And attack them when they're down. That's the other.
True words, my friend.
Probably rats into everything.
That person might be coming upstairs now to check.
Someday I'll be the one.
This is probably one of the fanciest houses in the city. Okay, so those two guys are walking around down there. Let's save the game and jump on over to
Things
the
are bad. Could the city
map.
get any worse? Indeed, I believe so. Someone's supposed to be on duty over here.
Okay, so that guy went behind there, which suits our purposes quite nicely, I believe, because we can do this meanwhile. And then take the pouch. And if you keep standing like that, please, thank you. Note from a lawyer. S. I suggest you do some research into cases concerning similar acts of arson. I don't think your client is a case, but if you confuse the issue without enough with terror tales, the jury might just vote with their hearts rather than their heads. It's what Timsh would do, I trust. J. Note to Gerwin. I understand your concern about security, but I trust in the security of a key hanging from my own belt, not a combination lock. Combination lock can be guessed, cracked, or bribed, but with a simple lock and key, the contents of my archives remain safe. As for lockpicks, a fable. I've never known such a thing to truly exist. Have you? Timsh. Oh, gee, yeah, no lockpicks have ever existed. Okay, so there's one person left.
That's strange. Timsh doesn't meet. So, the beneficiary in the will. He's giving the inheritance to Dunwall.
Okay, so the note we just got said, A, when are we going to get a secretary? I can never find any of the documents filed by J, and S doesn't seem to file anything. This place is turning into a vortex of disorganization, so big you could ride a whale into it. Okay, so let's go down into the basement and get rid of the servant.
What will I do now?
I do believe that was about everything that was in the building in terms of people. Note from Captain Blossom. Kitchen, the tomatoes in yesterday's dinner were overcooked. You know how much I hate overcooked tomatoes. I like them crisp without that mushy consistency. Am I clear? Please don't ruin my dinner again, Captain Scott Blossom. Yeah. In times of plague, having crisp tomatoes is very important. Drop the sack. Do I have a sack? No, I don't. Okay, we have all the bone charms now. That looks like food items. I'm keeping the dark vision on just in case guards spawn. You may have noticed that guards do have a propensity to spawn out of nowhere every now and then. It's also useful to find the items that I'm supposed to pick up. 78 card tarot deck. Draw a card. Take the tarot card, the world. Ah. Draw a random card. You draw the Four of Swords. Draw the Commoner of Pistols. Oh, okay. The City Barrister. While the keen-minded barristers of the legal district have always played a vital role in the health of the capital city of Dunwall and the Empire of the Isles at large, the dreaded rat plague has elevated the desperate need for their services. With so many disputes related to abandoned estates or entire industrial companies left leaderless after the deaths of everyone in the controlling family, shareholders and investors, and even workers themselves, are often in need of the post-mortem legal advice and guidance that can only come from scholarly men such as Arnold Timsh. We are all in their debt. Yeah, sure, right. Thus, there is no surprise in the Lord Regent's recent appointment of Timsh to the newly created position of City Barrister. Among Timsh's responsibilities is serving as liaison to the dead counters of the City Watch, and once the plague has been found in a home, or once it has devastated a business, it falls on Timsh to divvy the assets left behind, awarding them to the state if no one survives with a legal claim to the funds or property. This is, of course, not a light matter, therefore it falls to one above moral question, and that man is Barrister Arnold Timsh. With regard to more personal matters, it is true that Timsh is not a great socialite, as some have noted. However, in recent seasons, his niece Thalia has made headway toward correcting this, throwing lavish parties and earning the favour of some of Dunwall's great families, including the Boyles. To date, young Lady Thalia is unwed, and though several times there have been rumours of impending marriage, all of these thus far have been proven to be mere social gossip. Also unsubstantiated are the absolutely false whispers of conflict between uncle and niece, no doubt spread by those ill-tempered and ill-bred louts who were jealous of the rising Timsh name. That's a rather horrible painting. Okay, so now we can safely smash this and get the urn. A repair notice. Staff. Barrister Timsh was complaining about squeaking in these doors, so they have been removed until the repair order comes in. Please don't throw anything down the shaft or do anything childish. Management. Brigmore whale statuette. A letter from Roland. Dear Arnold, thank you for inviting my wife and me over for dinner last week. We both had a splendid time. I also appreciate you being so patient with your episode. Not many people are as understanding, and you showed considerable grace. I am also happy I was able to confide in you with my business arrangements. I am sure you will be able to keep them strictly confidential, but it was a relief to finally be able to vent about the frustrations I much endure daily to a colleague who understands these sorts of things. I hope that you will allow me to return the favour and play host to you for an evening. Sincerely, Wiles Roland.
Mother, this is Arnold. If you happen to awaken while no one is present, I've prepared this for you, to remind you of recent events to help clear your mind and put you at ease. The plague has ended. I have married and will become Prime Minister. just as you always wanted. My sister and brother are both here and doing well. Your last will and testament has been written and approved. We all love you, Mother. Now go back to sleep. Rest. Everything is fine.
Okay. More blueprints. Improved armor. Letter for a doctor. Barrister Timsh, I'm afraid I cannot in good conscience remain your mother's physician. The way you repeatedly deny her access to practices which could potentially restore her lucidity is nothing short of a death sentence, and I wish no part of it. Good day to you, sir. Dr. Partridge. I'm guessing his mother is already dead. I did forget to listen to the audiograph down in his office, so let's just run quickly down there and have a listen to that as well. Evictions list. There's definitely lots of money involved in this.
Benedict, I need to know what you expect regarding the Danforth Holding Company. They're only a month late and they've been good for it in the past. Normally, I wouldn't hesitate to invent a plague infection complaint against them and have all their assets seized. But they have a link to the Boyles, and they, as you know, are on the Do Not Touch list. It's hitting a little too close to home. I'm afraid you may have to settle your dispute with them by some other means.
Interesting. Okay, now let's go into the room up here. Statue of Delilah.
Who are you?
I understand your curiosity. I'm strange. I was a baker's apprentice in Dunwall Tower. A friend to Jessie when we were girls. Then afterward, I made my name as a painter. Now, I'm obviously something much greater. What satisfies you? Because you won't get more. I ought to just kill you. But I'm going to give you a warning for the sake of my sisters, who were very impressed with you once upon a time. Stay away from me. There are great changes coming, and I'll expect you not to interfere. I have influence in places you won't expect. But as for Arnold Timsh, do what you want. I won't hold a grudge. I'm done with him.
Is that who you were looking for? Well, she's a bit of a bitch. And the artwork's hopeless. I know you have your reasons.
Talking statues. Well, let's get the rune. Is there anything else? It seemed to be lacking one rune. Let's go in here. Odorous sack. Cultist scribblings. This one was born to a wealthy family. He stayed out in the countryside because it was the only place he could see the stars at night. He was never educated, so he did not know what they were. He used to pray to them. Sure. This one worked so hard he broke both of his hands. When he was of no more use, they threw him out. His mother cared for him until she died, after which he turned to begging. Then he died. This one liked to carve wood. Once he carved a small whale. He spoke to it and kept it in his pocket. Its grains knew of all his secrets, just as I do. This one was a father. He sired 6 of 3 mothers. He drowned one of them, but it was not his fault. One day, the child's grandfather discovered what happened, but the old man did not agree with that assessment. This is bizarre.
always wondered.
Whoa.
What does he smell like? Rotting flesh? Wild flowers? Does he ask you questions? I wonder when he'll speak to me.
Here's one last lesson, for old time's sake. The Barrister was a champion at finding his enemies' weak points, but he didn't see Delilah as a threat until it was too late. No one's watching Delilah now except you. And me, of course. I see everything. I see forever. And right now, I see a man walking a tightrope over a sea of blood and filth. The Empress is dead, and the water's rising. Don't end up like Arnold Timsh. He died before he could say his last words. For what it's worth, they were, "I'm sorry."
You were in a daze. I hope it was enlightening.
I guess you could say
It's
that.
always satisfying, killing a rich bastard like Timsh.
Okay, so place tarot card. Cut your palm and bleed on the card. Burn the blooded card. Okay. So I guess that we have to go back to Timsh's estate. Burn the blooded card at the hearth of a man who dreams of being Lord of all. That's not Arnold Timsh. Clearly need a hearth that is actually lit up. Which there doesn't seem to be many of around here. Not that I'd expect to find a fireplace in the bathroom, but a man who dreams himself to be Lord of all. Yep, there we go. And we get a room. I guess we should say thank you, Granny, but as we all know, she's not a very nice person. Mana consumption medium. Spending time is very useful. I don't know if the summon assassin is good or not, because I have no idea if it would help in terms of ghost. So I'll go with bend time. As for bone charms, we don't have any that I would like to use at the present moment. I believe we can get to the waterfront district through here. Oh, another one. This one was a teacher. She used to teach the children about the black-eyed one she saw in her dreams. No one knew. But then one of the children went into a trance and began to cry her name. And then the overseers came. What a bizarre place. think this door leads us out to... Yes. Now there's probably a bundle of guards. Okay. Do we have everything? So to see.
I know you're here.
Guards have respawned, but that's fine.
I saw Talia. She's waiting where she said she'd be.
Thank you. That's probably too far away.
The oil in these things doesn't last long enough.
Sure, if we were gonna bother taking down the guards now.
A dangerous individual is
Just keep
currently
clear of the
at
watch and the
large in
hatters.
legal district
Don't start
and
any
or
fights.
waterfront
We want
areas.
a nice, clean
If
payback
seen,
for what he did
inform
to
an
the
officer
boss.
of the watch
A death
immediately.
for a death.
Kill him is what I say. Daud's a legend. We won't take chances. Not a chance. After what he did to Bundry, he's gonna...
Let's see if we can handily take them out in one nice... No. Held a little too long
Be
there.
advised, the individual who murdered Barrister Arnold Timsh is believed to be still at large in this area. If seen, inform an
That's
officer of the watch
useful.
immediately.
I'll find you, you hagfish.
Yeah, the question is, where are you? Down there. Save again, and
I know
then...
you're somewhere around here.
Don't think there are any more guards around. Get the bolt. These guys all seem to be carrying nothing. Oh! Salvage there. I didn't know that. That's useful. Okay, so Talia should be down here. Ah. Probably quite happy with us as well.
Your uncle is dead. This is his will, as agreed.
Uncle's dead. I've killed now, haven't I? My, how odd that feels. But you were promised information. Well, my uncle came under Delilah's spell. He was obsessed with her. Everyone knew she'd been a servant at the tower before she studied under Sokolov. She was a painter, an artist. Beneath my family's class, for certain. My uncle became infatuated. But he looked older. He made us keep candles lit all night. He was afraid of the dark. One night we all went to Waverly Boyle's for a seance. It was an amusement. We didn't know what we were doing. I thought only the dead appeared at seances. But suddenly Delilah was in the room with us. My uncle nearly died of terror. She was there, but not there. We saw her as if she was very far away, standing in the old Brigmore Manor, painting at an easel, painting a name. It was your name, Daud. That's all I know. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Well, that does not sound promising.
So much for the good barrister. He had it coming, though. Men like him can never trust anyone. His own niece turned on him. Are you ready to go?
Yep.
Let's go home.
Here we go. Hostiles killed 48. 4 civilians. 1 alarm was rung and 11 are dead. Dead or unconscious bodies were found. Chaos still on high. We were never detected. We found all the runes and the bone charms and nearly all of the coins as well. Special actions kill General Turnbull. Okay. In case there's a video.
Jessamine Colbin's hands were all that was holding this city together. With her dead, this city was a fast disintegrating web of guardsmen, overseers, nobles, weepers. Maybe this was the world the outsider was trying to show me all along. For years, I'd held together a shadowy band of ex-mercenaries, street kids, and refugees through discipline and a bit of black magic. On the fringes of a city that ate up innocence and weakness. Maybe today was the end of that small world. I thought of Jessamine Colbin's hands shuddering as she lost her grip on life. Whatever doom was coming, I deserved it. My people didn't.
Okay, so we got boot stealth and improved armor. Let's just improve the boot stealth. And also increase arc bone jump capacity is good. More explosive bolts would be good. Reload isn't that important, but definitely increase the boot stealth to 2. Then fill up our bolts to the max. Can we afford any other? No favors. Okay, so start the mission. And I think that will end the episode here. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you all next time.